All right, it's time. I am going to pick a business card at random from a show that I've went to this year. And that business that I pick out of this stack here, I'm going to audit their business and see what's going on with their online presence and see if I can poke a few holes. Let's see who I got here today. Okay, and the winner is the Kaliga team. Looks like a real estate team we're going to audit today from iPro Realty. Let's do it. All right. And before I get into the website, the first thing when we're talking about any sort of a brokerage is the simple fact that most brokerages are one person or another that is representing the entire brokerage. 9 times out of 10, it's that face that you want to become familiar with. And that face here is Kaliga. That's who the person is that is representing this specific brokerage, it looks like. So we're going to dive in to see what Vinesh is doing for Kaliga, Team Kaliga. So let's go right into it now. All right, so as you can see here, you got Vinesh Kaliga, Realtor from iPro Realty. Looking at this website here, there's a lot of information. Looking at for example, buying, look at this drop down here. You have many different opportunities to create content to be found on Google, right? Price drop alert. Let's just pick some at random here. Okay, it looks like it's linking out to a random site. Okay, it looks like it's like a third-party site, white labeled to Team Kaliga, but none of the branding matches the main site. So it's kind of a miss there. Looking at listings, if I want to do a residential search, pretty easy if I'm going to type in there. I'm curious as to how many searches Vinesh actually gets a month in here. I doubt a whole lot of traffic is hitting this website. Looking at Vinesh's Facebook, cover photo's nice. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not a huge fan of this image making Vinesh look like a superhero. I'll tell you why. It's cute. I think it's cute. I just don't think it's the approach because, in the words of Donald Miller, you want to be the guide, not the hero in the story. And if you're a real estate agent, you are the guide in your client's story. You're not the hero finding the perfect home for them. You need to be the guide. They are the hero. So with that whole mindset, I would take a different approach and not be the superhero, but be that trusted expert. In order to be the trusted expert, you have to put out a lot of content positioning you as a subject matter expert. In this case here, you have Vinesh that's posting, it looks like on his Facebook, maybe once, twice a week. Not a whole lot of consistency with the fonts that he's using, so it's kind of a mess. And if you look over at Instagram too, it is a little bit messy. It's different fonts, different colors. It's not really aesthetically pleasing. If I'm going to go to an Instagram profile, I need that grid to capture my attention and make me want to give it a follow. In this case here, it just seems like a smorgasbord of a ton of different types of content, random Canva templates and such. So I would definitely clean that up a bit to be more consistent. And also I would maybe create some better copy. In this case here, tips for planning a home buying budget with a bunch of hashtags. Leave the hashtags off of Meta, off of Facebook specifically. They don't really do a whole lot. Nobody's really searching these hashtags anyway. So I would just take those off and have some more meat in that copy. When it talks about tips for planning a home buying budget, why not provide those tips in the copy and then people can choose whether to watch the video or not. There's a good chance Vinesh is not taking full opportunity with these videos either, because if it is a good video and he wants to capture video views, I would run an ad campaign. And in this case here, if I go over to the page transparency, he's not running any ads. So at least run a video view ad, spending $1 or $2 a day just to collect video views so you can maybe retarget later on when you have some enticing offer or some sort of a lead magnet you want to present to an audience. Because right now your audience is about 225 likes. So you can collect video views for probably like a cent per 10-second video view, which is an audience you can target later on. So I would suggest that Vinesh do that. Something else I would do is provide thought leadership pieces specific to the audience that you work with. When I talk to a lot of real estate agents, what they would typically say, real estate agents will say, I'm targeting everywhere from Ajax, Ontario to Oakville, Ontario, which essentially is almost like a 2-hour drive almost. It's like, well, if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to no one. I tell people choose a specific location that you want to work in, but also choose a specific type of buyer or seller. Like if you want to work with families that are looking to increase the size or buy a bigger home, there's your target audience. If you're looking for downsizers, that's another audience. So if you speak to everybody, you really speak to nobody. So I would focus the attention on one niche, one specific avatar or ideal client profile, and then start creating content specific to that audience, run ads specific to that audience. In this case here, it does look like Vinesh is speaking to everybody and not one in particular person. Again, not running any ads. I would showcase some of the listings that have sold. I don't know if I've see listed to sell here, but what about some case studies of successful clients that have bought or sold a home with Vinesh? I think that's very important to have those case studies to help showcase the great work that Vinesh and team Kaliga has done. Now, right now, we don't really seeing any of that at all. We're just seeing a lot of listed to sells, nothing about examples of houses that have sold, which would be very good information for team Kaliga's target audience. I see a connect to WhatsApp call to action. That's fine. You don't necessarily need to go to the website. But looking at just going over to the website, so I'm looking at Ahrefs here, Ahrefs, otherwise known as, you see the website's got about 58 backlinks. Looks like it's starting to get a bit of traffic over the course of the last 4 or 5 months. That's good. Going into the actual keywords. Now, real estate's a tricky one because when you look at real estate, you'll notice that a lot of the pages that are being found are some of the top pages are ones that are specific to listings. And that makes sense because a listing expires over a period of time and then nobody's really searching for that specific listing, like 415 Wilson Avenue. It's relevant until it's sold. So in this case here, it is a tough industry to try to rank amongst the experts or rank amongst the competition, because the competition are typically massive sites that have a ton of pages and a lot of traffic on an ongoing basis. So if you look at some of those competitors, you're looking at competitors like realestate.ca, realtor.ca, wellington.ca. These are all massive websites. So that's why for SEO, for real estate, it's kind of tough to compete. Even Google advertising can be tough as well because you've got to be spending a lot of money per click. That is why for real estate agents, my go-to strategy would really be leaning into the social media, leading into the Instagram, spending a little bit of money, doesn't need to be a lot, on paid ads to position yourself as the authority in a specific area with a specific niche. That's the way to go. Otherwise, you're just drowning in the ocean of real estate fish, and there's lots out there. So how do you stand out amongst the rest? It's really establishing that personal brand. Now, if you're a real estate agent and you found this video helpful, go on, give a like and subscribe. You can reach out to me. You can find my information in the comment section below. Thank you again for watching, and see you soon.